everyone. I am so excited that you have found your way to Doylestown Health and are ready to learn some new things while we're all in quarantine, or maybe we're just not as busy right now, but we are excited to teach you. So every week a new topic will come out, so be on the lookout. But today is the first topic, and you get to listen to me talk about how to strengthen your immune system. So the first question is what is your immune system and why is it so important for it to be healthy, right? So your immune system is probably in tip-top condition, and when it is, you typically don't even notice it's working to protect you, and it protects you around the clock. However, you'll definitely know something is wrong with your immune system because that's when you start to feel sick, worn down, because your immune system is fighting off an illness, maybe an infection. So if you feel good today, thank your immune system. Give yourself a pat on the back. But basically, your immune system is your body's built-in defense system against your illness and infection. And so what are some of the basics? The main purpose of your immune system is to protect your body from viruses and bacteria. Without it, the viruses and bacteria would have free rein and you would constantly be falling ill. Your immune system works by recognizing the difference between your body cells and invading cells, and it allows your body cells to destroy anything that would be potentially harmful, right? So it usually works well if you have an autoimmune disease. Certain autoimmune diseases come from your body incorrectly classifying your own body cells, and actually it starts to attack your own body. So in an ideal world, your healthy cells in your body would be attacking these invader cells, recognizing that they're going to be harmful to your body and getting rid of them. And so you can, just from that description, you can probably tell your immune system is necessary for your body to function. A robust and properly functioning immune system is going to help you go about your daily life, especially because every day we're constantly coming in contact with germs, bugs. We get these things from our pets, from other humans, from the environment. We can't really control how many germs and bacteria we come in contact with. So without a properly functioning immune system, you're going to pick up those infections or the germs and bacteria, which can then cause infections, more easily. And unfortunately, if you don't have a good immune system, you're going to feel the effects of that, and it could be potentially fatal. Your body's first line of defense is its physical barriers, which we'll talk about in a second, which is essentially just your skin. If a virus or a bacteria managed to break through, gets in your eyes, gets in your nose, mouth, whatever, there are specialized cells in your body that jump into action. And so your bloodstream and key areas in your body contain white blood cells that are going to try and destroy this alien cell or bacteria that they find. Like I said, sometimes our immune system may overreact and attack our own body cells. That's what happens in the case of allergies like hay fever and autoimmune diseases. It's also why donated blood and organs must be carefully matched. You don't want your body rejecting them, thinking that they are foreign invaders. And so what are some key components to your immune system? Well, some of them you have heard before, like your skin. We just talked about that. Your skin is your physical barrier that keeps your bacteria and germs at bay. You might know too that your tears and saliva offer further protection. So they're antibacterial and they can try and neutralize any invaders. When you get a speck of dirt or something in your eye and then you just start tearing up, that's your body's just natural defense mechanism of getting rid of that bacteria. Then you have mucus, kind of gross but necessary. It's antibacterial, it's sticky, it lines your lungs, and typically it's supposed to help catch your germs and stop them from entering your bloodstream. It's also what you find in your nasal passage, and it works the same way. It's just supposed to catch everything and get rid of it. So then we have our gut. Around 70 to 80% of our immune system cells are actually found in our gut. And so it's so interesting. We're learning so much about the gut-brain axis, how the gut helps keep your body healthy. And I'm sure we'll continue to learn more as time goes on, but it is often a place where bacteria and viruses attack. So it's important to keep your gut in good condition. Make sure you have plenty of friendly bacteria at its disposal, right? So that's where you hear about the prebiotics, the probiotics, things like that in your gut to feed it healthy bacteria. Then we have the lymph system. So this system carries food, water, and oxygen to your cells, and it helps remove waste. It's made up of bone marrow, spleen, thymus, and lymph nodes. So in your bone marrow, your body's disease-fighting white blood cells are produced and released, right? So we want those white blood cells. There are many different types of white blood cells, but they all produce antibodies to fight off specific bacteria and viruses. That's why if you've ever had a cold and you go get your blood work, they might say your white blood cells are elevated and then ask you if you had a cold or didn't feel well. It's because your body's fighting something off. Your spleen regulates how much blood is in your body and helps remove damaged cells. The thymus gland is where bacteria fighting T cells mature, and it's located right behind your breastbone in the front part of your chest. And that is more vital to children's immune system, not as much with adults. And then you have your lymph nodes, which are designed to detect any bacteria or infection in cell fluid and remove them. So the question is, there's a lot of things going on, but how are you going to keep your immune system healthy? It's really important to note during this time that even if you have a healthy immune system, right, you're doing everything right, you can still catch the COVID-19 virus. This is more, let's just keep it up and running and healthy and give it any extra help we can during this time. So, unfortunately, or fortunately, it's pretty much things we talk about in everyday life, getting sleep, exercise, and eating nutritious meals. But we're going to dive really quickly into each one a little bit more to teach you maybe why this helps, right? So sleep. Yes, sleep really does affect your immune system. And at this time, it's a great time to catch up on your sleep, especially for everyone at home that's working at home. It's perfect to go to bed a little bit earlier, or maybe you're fortunate enough to be able to sleep in a little bit earlier. Make sure you're getting that sleep because sleep doesn't store up. You know, some people say, oh, I'll sleep in on the weekends. It's not really exactly how it works in your body. So, you know, you should be getting 7 to 9 hours of sleep a night. And I put 7 to 9, most adults are recommended 7 to 8. However, there are truly some people who, if you get less than 9 hours of sleep, you're not going to feel well the next morning. And so it's okay. Don't be ashamed. You should just get the sleep that your body needs. But 7 is the minimum recommendation. And there's a really good reason. Studies show that people who don't get quality sleep or enough sleep are more likely to get sick after being exposed to a virus. The lack of sleep also affects how fast you recover if you do get sick, you know, so that's another good point. If you catch a virus or the common cold, flu, whatever, just sleep. Give your body time to recover. This is when your immune system releases proteins called cytokines, which help promote sleep. And certain cytokines need to increase when you have an infection or inflammation or when you're under stress. That's another good point. Even everyone that is under stress can benefit from sleep. It's not just trying to prevent illness. Sleep deprivation, though, decreases the production of these protective cytokines, and infection-fighting antibodies and cells are reduced during periods when you don't get enough sleep. So you're reducing your cytokines and you're reducing antibodies, which both are going to help keep the body healthy. Your body needs sleep to fight these infectious diseases. So there's that, but then there's also, if you don't have good sleep or you go on not sleeping, the long-term effect of lack of sleep increases your risk for other diseases, and these other diseases are things like diabetes, cardiovascular disease. It puts you at a higher risk for high blood pressure, increases your risk for diabetes, right, or for obesity, I'm sorry. So sleep does affect a lot of things that are happening in your body. There's one study where participants were willingly exposed to the common cold virus. Not quite sure why, but they were. And they found that not everyone got sick, right? So not everyone's going to get sick. But those that slept for 6 or less hours were 4.2 times more likely to develop the cold. So those who slept 7 or more hours were, 4 times less likely. That was only an hour difference. So that's really important to note. Getting that 7 hours is really key to strengthening your immune system. There's tons more research on sleep and how it helps your body recover, but that is really quickly how it affects your body with inflammation and, common cold and viruses and stuff. The next thing you always hear about is exercise, right? So most people are thinking exercise to lose weight or maybe to increase your heart health, but exercise has a huge effect on your immune system. So it affects your phenotypic makeup and functional capacity of your immune system, which just means that exercise has an influence on humans' immune system and makeup, right? So that one's the one over here. The behavior of almost all immune cell populations in the bloodstream is altered in some way during and after exercise. And so it used to be thought that exercise decreased the body's immune system, but now we know otherwise. And so we know that there is something similar to a J curve when it comes to exercise and your immune system. So if you can imagine a J for me, and on a scale of 1 to 10, we'll say the tip of the J that you start, or the tip of the J, you maybe say is a 5 on your immune system, right? So you're more likely to get a virus. As you exercise, you actually decrease the rate of infection, right? So you're going down on the J. But then if you increase your exercise to say you're training for a marathon or you're doing a lot of exercising, you're exercising 2 to 3 times a day for a couple of hours, you spike your rate of infection again, right? So you go back up on that J curve. So there is a threshold, and it really depends on your body, which we'll get into in a second. But we do know that when you're exercising, you're altering your immune cells for the good most of the time. Exercise also improves immune defense activity, which keeps you healthy, obviously, and it helps improve metabolic health, which, if you're not sure what metabolic health is, that's just healthy range of things like your blood sugar, your triglycerides, your HDL, your blood pressure, and your waist circumference. So exercise can improve that. And then lastly, exercise training has an anti-inflammatory effect, which, is mediated through different ways through the body, but you are decreasing inflammation in your body with exercise, which is great. So again, there's a caveat. But first of all, you need to consult with your physician before you do anything. Don't just go running a marathon because you listen to this 15-minute webinar. But ideally, if you're starting 2 to 4 times a week, and you're exercising between 15 and 20 minutes. Don't feel bad if you can only do 2 times a week at 10 minutes. And it's all about building your stamina, right? You don't want to get injured, and you definitely don't want to make yourself sick during this. You should be performing mild to moderate activities where in a time period people love HIIT workouts and love intense training sessions, and that's really great, especially if you're already acclimated to exercise. But simple things like walking, jogging, not even full force running, just jogging, walking, a combo, yoga, biking. If you live somewhere warm, swimming might be an option. Those are all perfect activities that just get your heart rate moving a little bit, get your muscles and the blood flow moving. Now, you should not be exercising past exhaustion. Don't forget, that's pretty much like that J curve. That does increase your risk of infection if you're not careful. You shouldn't exercise with flu-like symptoms, right? So I'm not telling you if you think you have the coronavirus to go get outside to try and change your immune cells. That's a bad idea. We're going to revert to slide 1 where it said we should be sleeping. I suggest you sleep. And you certainly shouldn't exercise in a crowded place. I'm pretty sure everything is shut down right now, all the gyms, so you shouldn't be getting anyone else's germs that way, but in case it comes back up, just make sure you're cleaning off your equipment and stuff. And so lastly, the thing I wanted to talk about was just your food, right? Because you need to give your body nutrients. It needs resources to protect you, right? What we put in our body helps with our body's defense system and ability to recover. So, what are some foods you can eat that may help your immunity? Obviously, the ones up here. What I want to point out that's not up here is processed and packaged foods. I'm so sorry, you guys. I love my tasty cakes just as much as the next person, but it is not the time to be eating 5 or 6 of them, right? Now is the time that we need to keep our immune systems healthy and really give it as much nutrition as possible to function at a high level. Really, packaged and processed foods, besides not having nutrients, create inflammation. And so we want to keep our inflammation down, which we're doing by sleeping and exercising. We shouldn't be taking away all that hard work by eating foods that are just going to recreate it. So you keep inflammation down by eating, your fruits, your veggies, your whole grains, good dairy if you can stomach it. Things that come in natural form is obviously what's going to be best for your body. But there are some foods that, I'm not going to say help you fight off the virus, but certainly have more of certain vitamins and minerals that do typically coincide with fighting off certain things, okay? So first of all, mushrooms. This might come as a surprise for some people. It certainly does for me because I grew up in the world of white things were bad, right? So white potatoes were bad, mushrooms were bad. They, taught us they didn't really provide many nutrients. But as we learn more, it's like the furthest from the truth, which is great because mushrooms are actually really good. So mushrooms have B vitamins, which help with the building blocks of a healthy body. They have a direct impact on your energy levels, brain function, and cell health, which is really important. They actually also have this thing called selenium, and that helps lower your stress and reduce damage from oxidative stress, so the stuff going on in the environment. One thing to note is you should use the stems, so a lot of people throw them away, but the stems have nutrition in them as well. So, just chop them up like you're chopping your mushrooms. Don't throw them away. Then we have sweet potatoes and watermelon. So if you are in the Pennsylvania area, watermelon is probably not in season yet, but you can find it I'm sure, at any grocery store that is not sold out at this point. So sweet potatoes and watermelon are high in vitamin A, vitamin C, potassium, and beta carotene. And so beta carotene is important because it turns into vitamin A, which plays a role in boosting our immune function. So we definitely want to help boost our immune function. Then we have spinach and broccoli. So spinach has folate, and folate is a B vitamin that you need to make DNA and any genetic material. It has magnesium, and it has vitamin C, which we'll talk about in a second. And then broccoli. Broccoli is interesting. Did you know that 1 cup of broccoli has more vitamin C, or has much vitamin C as an orange? So people love, you know, when you ask them about vitamin C, their first response is orange juice, oranges, right? But a lot of different vegetables actually have vitamin C. So if you eat broccoli, you're getting vitamin C, a ton of fiber, you're getting those B vitamins. So don't forget, these B vitamins are very important for our energy, the way we think, you know, repairing and helping our cells. And so these are great foods to add in. We probably all have a lot of frozen or canned foods, but picking up some of these fresh foods in the grocery store on your next trip is a good option to throw into your meals too. And so while I promote you eating your vitamins, there are some vitamins that during this time you hear a lot about, and for a good reason. So vitamin D. So vitamin D, it's our sunshine vitamin. Our body loves it, right? It's needed to, I mean, vitamin D is really an essential vitamin. It does so much in your body. But pertaining to this talk, it's needed to produce antimicrobial proteins that help kill viruses and bacteria. And so if you have less vitamin D, or you're deficient on vitamin D, you're less effective at producing these proteins and more susceptible to infection. And then there's vitamin C. So most people know vitamin C, right? They get sick, they start chugging emergency or something. But vitamin C is used in our immune cells to clear the virus. A recent review found that immune cells actually need vitamin C to produce the proteins that activate the immune system throughout the body against the virus attacks. So there's a lot of mechanisms on how vitamin C helps the body stay healthy, but that's how it works for this. So I thank you for listening for these few minutes on this talk. I hope it helped a little bit. When we're not in a COVID-19 pandemic at the hospital, you can typically find our topics on Doylestownhealth.org. So we do lunch and learns, we go around the community and talk to different organizations all the time. We have a ton of different topics, and we would love to see you. We also have online options too. So typically when we're doing them in person, we'll stream them online so you can watch at home during the day. But you will be able to find those on Doylestownhealth.org. If you try right now, they will all say postponed or canceled. So, you know, watch the news as things clear up, which they will. When things clear up, we'll get back to our regular programming. Right now, the hospital has a hotline. So if you are really concerned, or you don't know if you need a screening and you can't get a hold of your physician, you can certainly call the COVID-19 hotline at the number right there. Or you can email this email right below it and ask your questions. They do try and answer within 24 hours, but that is based on what is going on in the hospital. So just be mindful, try not to get upset if they're not able to answer right away. Otherwise, I hope you have a fantastic day. It's been great talking to you for a few minutes. And if you have any questions, call the hotline, call the hospital, and we'll help you. Thanks. Bye.